Rude waiter insults woman unaware. She's Keanu Reeves' mother. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers. How dare you come in here dressed like that? The waiter's mocking tone echoed through the upscale New York City restaurant, drawing the attention of other diners. The woman, visibly shaken, fought back tears as she clutched her modest purse. Little did the waiter know, he had just insulted Patricia Taylor, the mother of Hollywood icon Keanu Reeves. It was December 2003, a cold evening in Manhattan. Patricia, a soft-spoken woman in her late 60s, had decided to treat herself to dinner at La Belle Vie, an exclusive French restaurant she'd read about in a travel guide. Patricia wasn't one to splurge, preferring quiet meals at home in Los Angeles. But while visiting her son in New York, he had encouraged her to enjoy the city's finer experiences. Dressed in a warm wool coat and practical shoes, Patricia entered the restaurant without a reservation, hoping for a table. She wasn't seeking special treatment, just a pleasant meal and a new memory. However, the head waiter, Greg, greeted her with a condescending smirk. "Ma'am," he said loudly, looking her up and down, "we have a dress code here. We don't seat casual diners." The words stung. Patricia, humble and unassuming, glanced around at the other guests, her cheeks flushing under their judgmental stares. "But she began, her voice trembling. "I didn't realize—" Greg cut her off with a dismissive wave. "It's obvious, isn't it? This isn't a fast food joint. Maybe try somewhere more appropriate for you." Patricia froze, stunned by his rudeness. Though she had worked as a costume designer in Hollywood and moved in high society circles, she had never been treated with such disdain. As she turned to leave, a younger waiter, Andrew, approached hesitantly. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said gently. "Please don't leave. Let me see if we can accommodate you." Greg scoffed. "Why bother? She clearly doesn't belong here." Unbeknownst to Greg, Patricia's son was Keanu Reeves, the beloved actor known for his kindness and humility. Patricia, who always kept her identity private, had raised Keanu to value people for their character, not their status or appearance. As Patricia hesitated, she recalled Keanu's words from the night before. "Mom, you deserve to be treated like a queen no matter where you are. Remember that." Summoning her courage, Patricia turned back to Greg. "I'll wait for a table. Thank you." What happened next would become the talk of the town. As Andrew prepared a table, Greg whispered something to another server, causing them both to laugh. Patricia overheard the phrase "charity case" and felt a knot in her stomach, but she stood her ground, refusing to let their cruelty defeat her. Meanwhile, a man in a black leather jacket seated at the bar had been quietly observing the scene. With his long hair tucked under a beanie, he blended into the crowd, his piercing gaze fixed on the unfolding drama. The man stood and approached Patricia. "Mom," he said, his voice unmistakable. Patricia turned to see her son, Keanu Reeves, standing beside her. Greg's smirk faded as the room fell silent. Keanu gently placed an arm around his mother, his eyes scanning her face to ensure she was okay. Patricia blinked back tears, the hurt still evident in her expression. "Is this man bothering you?" Keanu asked softly, his voice carrying a quiet intensity that made Greg shift uncomfortably. Patricia shook her head. "I'm fine, Keanu. I don't think I belong here." Keanu turned to Greg, his jaw tightening. "She belongs wherever she wants to be," he said firmly. Greg stammered, realizing who stood before him. I didn't know. If I had known she was with someone important, I wouldn't have—" "Important?" Keanu interrupted, his voice rising slightly. "She's important because she's a person. That should have been enough." The room fell silent. Patricia placed a hand on Keanu's arm, whispering, "Let's just go somewhere else." But Keanu wasn't finished. He turned to Andrew, the young waiter who had tried to help. Were you the one who tried to seat her? Andrew nodded nervously. Yes, sir. Thank you, Keanu said, his voice softening. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a stack of bills, and handed them to Andrew. Take this for being the only decent person here tonight. Andrew accepted the money, his hands trembling with gratitude. Greg, meanwhile, looked mortified, the weight of his actions sinking in. Patricia, ever gracious, leaned toward Andrew. Thank you, young man. You didn't have to stand up for me, but it means the world that you did. As they left the restaurant, Greg called out, Wait, please, let me make it up to you. Keanu stopped but didn't turn around. You don't need to make it up to us. You need to think about why you treated her that way in the first place. Outside, Patricia sighed, her breath visible in the cold night air. Keanu, you didn't have to do all that. I wasn't expecting special treatment. It's not about special treatment, Mom, Keanu replied, his voice tender. You taught me to treat everyone with kindness. I couldn't let someone disrespect you like that. As they walked, Patricia leaned into her son, grateful for his unwavering support. You know, she said quietly, the way he looked at me reminded me of the struggles we faced when you were young. People judged me for how I looked or where I came from. Keanu stopped and faced her. Mom, those people didn't know your story. They didn't see the sacrifices you made for us. You're the strongest person I know. Patricia's eyes welled with tears. You never forget, do you? Never, Keanu said firmly. And I'll never let anyone make you feel less than the incredible woman you are. They continued walking, their bond stronger than ever. As they approached a small diner, Patricia smiled. Do you remember that little place in Toronto with the pancakes? Keanu grinned. Best syrup I've ever had. Want to find something like that here? Patricia nodded. Let's find somewhere simple, somewhere real. Inside the diner, the warmth and kindness of the staff were a stark contrast to the earlier humiliation. As they shared a meal, Patricia felt a deep sense of gratitude. The evening had started with pain, but ended with a reminder of the love and respect she had nurtured in her son. For Keanu, standing up for his mother was a small way of repaying the woman who had given him everything. As they left the diner, Patricia looked at her son with pride. Thank you, Keanu. You always make me feel seen. Keanu smiled. And I'll always see you, Mom, no matter what.